Alright, y'all, we back again with another video. My bad, I've been slacking like crazy and there's no excuse for that. So I'm trying to get back on the YouTube grind. I just literally just got off work, y'all, so my bad if I look sweaty or anything, but I'm gonna lie, my skin's kind of glowing though. You see me like, not playing. But no, on some real stuff though, guys, I want to talk about narcissistic mothers, bro. Because I think that is one thing that I think more people than not kind of deal with on a daily basis, but they may not be as vocal about it. So I'm gonna be vocal about my situation today. I'm gonna be very honest. I do kind of feel like my mom is a narcissist, and I'm not gonna go into like explicit details, of course, but what I will say is that I do genuinely feel like she plays like these emotional manipulation games to try and like establish some sort of like control, because her ego can't accept the fact that she doesn't have control over like certain situations. So what she'll do is she'll pick fights, start arguments to like kind of reinforce to her ego that like, yeah, I'm in control, this, that, and the third. And I think personally, narcissistic moms, I'm not saying every mom's a narcissist, of course, but I do personally think that narcissistic mothers, bro, might be some of the worst people on planet Earth, dog. Because a narcissistic father, that's one thing. And I'm not saying a narcissistic father is good. No, of course not. I'm just saying, like, he could still get at you emotionally, but a narcissistic mother, I think, is straight up evil. Because you gotta think, this is a woman who literally gave birth to you as a child, right? And so now if you're saying that that same woman that birthed you is now playing these emotional manipulation games to like groom you, scapegoat you, and do this, that, and the third, I don't know. That to me is just straight up evil, bro. I'm not gonna lie. That's just straight up evil, because a mother by nature is supposed to be nurturing. She's supposed to be somebody who cares for her children, somebody who, you know, always at least looks out for her kids, like in some sort of way, right? But a narcissistic mom literally will not do that. Or what I feel like they'll do is they'll act like they care about you, you know, and maybe they'll do things by like paying for stuff that you want. They'll give you every single like thing you want materialistic wise, right? But then there's no like emotional connection present. So then I feel like once you stand up, like, and now that leaves the kid, like you as their son or daughter, in a state of like confusion, because now you're, especially as you get older, you realize like, yo, like, don't get me wrong, like, you know, I'm grateful for all the things you've given me, like on a material level, of course. Like I'll never say that you never provided or nothing like that. But it's just a lack of emotional connection that I feel is missing. And so it leaves a lot of these kids in a state of confusion, but then also like in a state of like awakening, because now they're realizing that they never really had that connection as a kid. So it's like your mom will give you everything you want, but then she'll also scold you. She'll start arguments for no reason. She'll give you an attitude for no reason. And she'll just do all these things like to just like try to get under your skin emotionally. Because that's one thing a mother knows how to do. A mother, because she birthed you, bro. So it's like, the thing with mothers, bro, they have this way of getting to us emotionally, bro. They just do. Like, bro or sis, if you're watching, male or female, it doesn't matter. But I'm just saying bro, because that's in my lingo. But they have this way of getting to you, and it's pretty scary. And the scary thing also about a narcissistic mother is that it's not like a consistent thing. Like, one minute she'll be nice, the next minute she'll have an attitude. One minute she'll praise you, and the next minute she'll scold you. So it's this very like poker face type of thing. And that can seriously damage a child psychologically, because now the one person or one of the two people that they're supposed to get the reassurance from is now playing emotional games with them. Is now emotionally manipulating them. You know what I'm saying? And most of the times you don't even realize it, because it's your mom, and two, you know, she could be giving you everything you want, like material wise. So in her eyes, you have no reason to really complain, right? But one thing you have to also realize is a parent is obligated to provide for you the moment they agree to have you or like bring you to this world. That is an obligatory fact. And even to you guys, if you guys have kids in the future, if you guys choose to have kids, you have to provide for them. You don't get an incentive for that. That's your job. As a parent, you have to provide for your kids. Point blank, period. Like, there's no ifs, ands, or buts about it. The problem is, like, some parents, and specifically narcissistic moms, they want to use the fact that they provide for their children as this sort of like golden nugget or like a golden trophy. And the thing is, that's just not the case. Like, that's your job. That's, you know, you and the father as a team are supposed to provide for your kids, at least until they can become self-sufficient, you know. But a lot of narcissistic moms just don't do that. You know, if anything, I just got a text, my bad. If anything, like, it's just very hot and cold, and it's just like yo-yo energy, bro. And it's like, if it gets to you, it gets to you psychologically, because it's like, it's almost like she's creating these highs and lows, these like emotional roller coasters for you to kind of stay stuck, if that makes sense. I know what I'm saying might be all over the place, but if you're following me, let me know. Like, it's kind of all over the place, and it's kind of crazy. So yeah, man, I just think that narcissistic mothers, they need to be held accountable. They won't take accountability, if I'm being honest, but they do need to definitely be held accountable for their actions. But I think some ways of dealing with this, in my opinion, one, you definitely do need to set boundaries, 100%. And be careful, because they will try to guilt trip you. That's one thing. Narcissistic people, that's one thing they do, is guilt trip you. Narcissistic mothers, imagine knowing how to get to a child emotionally and then knowing how to guilt trip them too. That's a deadly, not a deadly, but that's a dangerous combination, you know? So, one, you definitely need to set boundaries, because if you don't, it'll be 10 times easier for them to take advantage of you. Two, journal or talk to somebody, talk to a trusted friend, journal. Find a way to kind of express how you're feeling, because you don't want to keep that bottled up, because if you do, then it creates this resentment inside of you. And next thing you know, you're within the dynamic that narcissistic mother wants you to be in, which is to be like angry and to lash out, so that she has a reason to be mad at you too, and then she can start an argument, and then you can see where this is going, and all that stuff. So that's number 2. Number 3, I would definitely probably say is, if you can, like, try to stack up some cash, try to, like, you know what I'm saying, and move out if you can. If you can't, definitely, like, try to keep your distance and get out the house as much as you possibly can, if you're able to, even if it's just going on a walk, going on a drive. If you drive, have a car, drive. If you can't, just go on a walk. Just try to get out the house as much as possible, because you staying in the house is going to kind of make it worse, because it's going to be hard for you to take your mind off of it. So yeah, that's just my opinion on narcissistic moms, but y'all let me know what y'all think. And yeah, until next time, your boy's out.